Hey guys, it's Nerf Mods by Parker, and I actually, as you can see, this is a blaster that is like halfway done already, and well, maybe a quarter of the way done. And I lost a bunch of footage. I accidentally deleted, or something happened to the footage that I recorded a bunch of footage as I was making this, but yeah, I lost all of that, so we're just gonna have to start from this point on. So I'll just go over everything I've already done. I've already put epoxy on here, covered this up, and then sanded it down so it is flush. Let me get just so you can see that it's flush. There's no, it doesn't stick out. Yep, it's completely flush. And then I've done that on this side as well, same thing. You can see that that's flush. And then, as you can see at the top, I've already started sanding the blaster. It's got a rough coat of sanding on with high grit, which is why you can still see a bunch of scratches. I'm going to buff those out. This top has been super glued on. This is polycarbonate. I've cut polycarbonate pieces and then super glued them on, and then I put a coat of JB Weld water epoxy on here. This is the stuff Drac uses in his integrations. And I put that all around here, under there, and that looks really nice. And then I sanded that down, and then there's a few bubbles, so then I put some JB Weld for plastic, which is this blue stuff over there, and then I put that coat on, and then I sanded that down, and now it's really smooth, and it blends in perfectly with the rest of the shell. So yeah, it blends in really well. I don't know. You can't see this, but it feels so smooth because I sanded the corner right. I sanded the edges right here, so it just blends right in with the polycarbonate, and it all looks like one big piece. And it just flows with the shell really well. I've also sanded these little brackets here on the other side as well. Yeah, so I took a long time sanding this, but it came out really nice. And I'm gonna have to sand a little bit in there because it's a little uneven, but. Yep. And I'm not worried about this crack here because I'm going to be cutting out a hole for the motor, for the flywheel, top flywheel, and then this crack here I don't care about because the Picatinny rail that I got to fit over this will just cover that crack right up, so it shouldn't be a problem. And then, yeah, that's the rail. I've also got them out of the package. This will look better. I can try to line it up. But, yeah, so see that will just cover the crack. And it will look really well. Really nice. Yep. And you can see I've also taken a Dremel and Dremelled out an oval kind of shape right here. And then sanded it down so it's nice and smooth and even. And that's just so I'm right-handed. So, and I'm assuming if you're right-handed, that will make it easier for you to access and clear jams with your mag. I guess it's not very helpful for left-handed people, but I didn't want to do it on both sides because I think that would look kind of stupid. So yeah, just this side, but you know, yeah, you can see the hot glue, the super glue in there, and then this is all. So I needed to drill holes for the Picatinny rail that goes straight down the gun, right? Because I want the Picatinny rail to be right aligned with the line of the blaster. And as you can see, the line for the polycarbonate is actually way off that, and that's because I did it like this, see? So this polycarbonate actually extends over more, and this here is shorter than over here. And that's so I can drill holes right down the center line and not interfere with the split between the two pieces of polycarb. And that actually comes together really nicely. As you can see right here, there's like this little crevice where the polycarb fits into, and that blends together really well. I'm actually very happy with that. Down here it doesn't matter as much because I'm going to fill that in, but right here I think that's almost perfect, the connection between these two. And then if I can get this blaster shell together, which I don't think I'll be able to with one hand. Hey guys, so this is another update video. I hope you like the new camera angle. It allows me to kind of show you everything in a much bigger, I can show you the whole kind of gun instead of just little pieces when I'm holding my phone. So hopefully this is better, and hopefully the audio is also better. but we'll see. I'd like to get some input from you guys at the end of this video to see, you know, if you like the new camera angle. But moving on to the gun, or the blaster, I have been sanding this thing down for a really long time now. And I just added these front plates, which are very cool. There we go. So, I don't know if you can see, but so I added this whole front piece, and I've been sanding this down. This side is really smooth, and that looks really good. So the barrel, I widened this so the barrel can sit in here and be completely straight and not be like tilted the wrong way. So that way the darts will fly out going straight, at least giving it better chance to have good accuracy. And then this is also really nice. There's a tiny gap right here. That's not too bad, that's pretty good. And then this is looking good. This is all flat right here. This plate, this is a polycarb plate, and this is really good. So I had to use this polycarb plate in order to mount this front one and give this front one something to line up against. And this also makes so the front one can be much more flush with this one, and that kind of just curves the whole blaster. And I think that looks really nice. And I've been sanding on this side for a while. It's still a little rough right there, as you can see, but it's looking good, especially right here. And right here, I have to put some more putty because I messed up a little bit with the Dremel. It's not bad, only a tiny bit of putty is needed there. But down here, oops, whoop, focus, okay. Down here, right here, and here, I've sanded out with a file and sandpaper to make it so these fit the battery door compartment really well, as you can see. And this I cut out. This is going to have a polycarbonate plate over this, and then that's going to be epoxied and then sanded down, so this should be all good. And I have a special surprise for later. It's going to be, I might be getting some clear parts for this blaster, which would be really cool. But moving on, I highlighted this in Sharpie, and this, to remember, I want to cut these out to make it more like a skeletonized pattern. I don't know in real life, F1 firearms, in real life, these are real life guns, AR-15s, they have their mag wheels kind of like skeletonized, and I wanted to copy that whole idea. Even though I am doing a Evo Scorpion style gun is what I'm trying to emulate, is the Evo Scorpion. I still want the, as you can see by the front end over here, oops, stuff just fell down, okay. I want to cut out these and get them skeletonized. So, yeah, I also filled this in. I don't know if I mentioned that already, maybe I did, but this whole top area is looking good. I'm just gonna sand this down, and then I'm gonna cut out these plates, and I might also cut out this battery place just so I can put this polycarb plate right over it. Now this is not for 180 motors, this is for 130 motors, but I want the polycarb plate because it's clear, and then I could put LEDs inside of the battery compartment, which I think would look cool with the artifact cage. So yep, that's the gun. I hope you guys liking it so far. I'm probably gonna do like maybe 2 more update videos as I'm making it, because I keep adding so many more things to the blaster. It's gonna take a little bit longer than intended, but that's okay. So this is how it is so far. I'm gonna do some cutting with my Dremel here and here and here and here, and I'm also gonna put the voltmeter right here. I hope this is in shot. If it's not, it'll be really good. Yes, okay, so I'm gonna put the voltmeter right here. And that's because I can't put it here like I normally would, because there's epoxy all built up in there. But I think right here will look pretty good. And I should have space, even with the pusher assembly, I should still have space for the voltmeter. So. Alright, hey guys, so I don't know what you've seen last, but I've I filled this in with epoxy putty, and I think you just saw a time lapse of me sanding it down. So I put epoxy putty over this, and I just sanded this all down. That took a little while, but it's all good now, and it looks good. So that's perfectly flush. And I hit that with the low grit and the 320 grit sandpaper. So 100 grit and then 320 grit, so it's nice and smooth now. And I've cut out these crevices, and I don't think you've seen this yet, but I've cut out these crevices right here so you can see the mag like through the gun, and that will look very cool. It's kind of late at this moment. It's like 9:30 at night Eastern, but Eastern Atlantic, but it's good. And I've been sanding this gun down for a while now. The front looks very nice. I've had to put extra epoxy there. I've had to fill a bunch of gaps everywhere, especially right here. The polycarb broke because I dropped the gun, so I had to fill this with epoxy and then sand this down. But it looks good now. So I probably will do maybe one more segment before I paint this gun. I don't know what I have to do next. I've done everything. I messed up here and I actually cut into the trigger, so I had to fill that with epoxy and sand that down. But that is better now. I've also been sanding this strife, but I'll probably just do a separate video on that. Yeah, I've been sanding the stock for the strife at the moment because this is the Hydro Dip stock that got all messed up when the film broke. So I'm sanding this down again so I can paint it to match the strife. But I think as far as this gun is concerned, this blaster, it's pretty good. I think next you'll probably see me cut out the voltmeter space, and then once I do that, I should be able to start painting. And I also filled this with epoxy. This is a hole right here. So I just filled this with epoxy because I had to shave it down. I don't know where the top piece is. But oh, I shaved this piece off of it. So I filled this with epoxy, and I'm probably just going to sand this down now. Alright, let's get back to it.